Okay, my dear listeners, viewers, and learners, today I'll discuss tense. Can you tell me what does a tense indicate? Yes, tense indicates time. We know that all sorts of activities are performed in a time, so tense refers to time. We know tense is mainly divided into three categories. First of all, present tense. Secondly, past tense, and last of all, future tense. Okay, and it is noticeable that every tense is also classified into four categories. First of all, indefinite. Secondly, continuous. Thirdly, perfect, and last of all, perfect continuous. Okay, as time is very short and limited, today I will discuss only present indefinite tense. So I request all of you to pay complete attention towards my lesson so that you can obtain proper knowledge on the tense. Now, my dear learners, listeners, and viewers, it is noticeable that the action which is done but which is performed at present but it has a fixed time, that is called present indefinite tense. I am repeating, the action which is performed at present but it has a fixed time, that is called present indefinite tense. For example, Kalam reads a novel, they watch TV in the room, he catches fish in the river, they play football in the field. So these are the instances of present indefinite tense. Now, my listeners and viewers, I am telling the structure of present indefinite tense. If you want to make a sentence in English grammar, you know you must need a structure. If you want to build a large building, you must need a structure. If you want to make your life in a glorious way, you must need a planning or a structure. Similarly, if you want to make a sentence in present indefinite tense, you must need a structure. The structure is, first of all, you have to use subject, then verb 1, then object, and last of all you have to use extension or addition part of a sentence. So by the combination of four things, you can write down a sentence in present indefinite tense. Now, my dear listeners and viewers, I am analyzing the structure one by one. First of all, subject. Can you tell me what does the subject refer to? Yes, subject is the performer of an action. I am repeating, in other words, subject is regarded as the doer of an action. The action which is done by someone is called subject. For example, Kalam catches fish. Here, Kalam is the subject. Number 2, verb. What is verb? Yes, verb indicates time. Okay. For example, Kalam plays football. Here, plays the verb. An object. Object may be a person, maybe a material things. Okay, here football is the object. Okay, an extension indicates additional part of the sentence. Okay, so by the combination of four things, we can write down a sentence or we can make up a sentence in present indefinite tense. Now, by the listeners and viewers, I am telling some rules of present indefinite tense. Okay, you know, if we want to make an interrogative sentence in present indefinite tense, we must use do or does before the subject. I am repeating, if anyone wants to make an interrogative sentence in present indefinite tense, he must use do or does before the subject. According to the demands of the subject, you must use do or does. If the subject becomes third person singular number, you must use does. Okay, and if the subject becomes third person, second person, or third person plural number, then we must use do before the subject in respect of making an interrogative sentence. For example, do you read the book? Okay. Do they play football in the field? Does he catch fish in the river? Does Mina watch TV in the room? So these are the instances of interrogative sentences. Okay, now, my dear listeners and viewers, it is noticeable that if any person wants to make a negative sentence, then we must use do not or does not after the subject. According to the demands of the subject, we must use do not or does not. Okay, in respect of third person singular number, we must use does not. And in other respects, we must use do not. For example, Kalam does not play football, they do not catch fish, I do not take tea regularly, and so on. Okay, these are the instances of negative sentence in present indefinite tense. Now, my dear listeners and viewers, it is noticeable that all sorts of universal truths are written in the present indefinite tense. You know, the truths which are recognized or which have been recognized as universally is called universal truth. For example, the sun gives us light, it is a universal truth. So, in this respect, meaning that all universal truths are written in the present indefinite tense. Okay. For example, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Similarly, the earth moves around the sun. Okay. So these are the instances of universal truth, and this truth will be written in the present indefinite tense. Okay. Number 2, all sorts of habits. Habits are of two kinds. It may be present habit and it may be past habit. So, in respect of present habit, you must write down the sentences in present indefinite tense. For example, I take tea regularly. Meena watches TV daily. They go to market every day. Understand me? So, these are the habits, and these habits are also written in the present indefinite tense. Now, my dear listeners and viewers, it is not noticeable that if we want to make an interrogative negative sentence at a time, I am repeating, if anyone wants to make an interrogative negative sentence, then we must use don't or doesn't in short form before the subject, and the rest of the sentence will remain intact. For example, don't they play football? Okay, does he catch fish in the river? So these are the instances of interrogative negative sentence. Understand me? So I think that you have understood me very clearly and carefully. So I request all of you to pay complete attention towards the lesson, and I will also request the learners to follow the rules of present indefinite tense. Now, last of all, I would like to say that that at present a critical situation is going on all over the world, meaning that many people have been affected by the severe virus called COVID-19 or coronavirus disease. Understand me? For this reason, we must follow the rules and instructions provided by the WHO so that we can remain well and healthy. Understand me? In order to protect ourselves, we must follow some rules and instructions. These are, I am giving some instruction in front of you. I think all of you will be very attentive towards me. Okay. First of all, we must put on mask on our mouth. From the nose to the mouth in such a way that the virus cannot enter into our own bodies. For this reason, it's our duty to put on mask at first. Secondly, we must maintain the rules of cleanliness, meaning that after coming out from the outside area, we must wash our hands, face, nose properly. Okay. And another rules is that we must maintain safe distance or physical distance, understand me, or social distance, so that the virus cannot contact with the other person. And last of all, we should try to stay at our home as much as possible. So by following such kind of rules, we can remain. Understand me? So I think that we should follow the instruction and rules provided by the WHO so that we can abstain ourselves from some kind of severe and acute virus. So let us finish today. Allah Hafiz.